I'm Lainey Edwards.
And I'm Tad Desai, and you're watching Red, White, and News.
The 4th of July was quite a celebration in Washington, D.C. this week. With the historical sites perfect for a fireworks outing, the town was full of tourists excited to celebrate the holiday. Here is DWC's Bradley Davison with the story.
Hi, I'm Bradley Davison reporting here from the National Mall in Washington, D.C. with DWC. Here to give you a brief rundown of the events that we will be doing for July 4th, even though it is very hot and humid.
Yes, the fireworks went off without a hitch as DWC and a crowd of over 100,000 people all braved the 100-degree heat on the mall. The fireworks, which were shot near the Lincoln Memorial, dazzled the crowd for just under 30 minutes.
It was amazing. I didn't really expect that. I've seen it on TV once or twice before, just channeling through NBC and everything, but it was an incredible show.
But if the heat wasn't a big enough challenge for DWC, the way back to campus was. However, TA Tony Cohen felt good about overcoming the crowds.
I actually felt really safe. We had all the TAs divided into different groups. The ratio was 1 TA for every 5 students. So that's a really manageable number. I felt like I knew where all of my students were at all times. I felt really safe, and I think all the students did as well.
DC Police stated that the whole department was on duty that night, and DC Police Chief Kathy Lanier said, "After the last inauguration, this is a walk in the park for us." The 4th of July festivities seemed to be a great hit not only for DWC but also for DC. I'm Bradley Davison with the Red, White, and News.
Thank you, Bradley. Despite the heat, it looks like the students of DWC enjoyed themselves this holiday.
DC was recently hit by a huge storm, and its residents are still dealing with the aftermath. Our reporter in the field, Lisa Beck, has the details.
The metropolis of Washington, D.C. has had a major heat wave and an unprecedented storm that has affected millions of people. The D.C. area was without power for at least 8 days around the area, forcing the residents to deal with the stifling heat without air conditioning. The storm originated in Chicago, Illinois on June 20th around 10:15 p.m. 2 million people lost power along the storm's 100-mile path. According to the most recent research, 26 people have died as a result of the storm, and homes are still suffering damage. We go to our resident meteorologist, Adam Zirin, for the story.
The cause of the storm, to try to put it into as simple terms as possible, was an extreme amount of heat that lasted from the Midwest to the East Coast, and just above the dome of heat is the river of air called the jet stream, which is where weather travels along the jet stream, and the jet stream was right up literally just to the north of this big gigantic dome of heat. So where those two clashed is where the storm formed. Easily, without a doubt, we'll see severe thunderstorms between now and the end of summer. I mean, thankfully, the storm that came through was about a once every 4-year experience for Maryland.
Although many people suffered from the effects of the storm, Zarin sees it in a different light.
Put aside all the destruction that it caused, was just an incredibly fascinating experience for something weather-wise. I mean, with lightning that was nonstop, something that could stay together and travel together for hundreds and hundreds of miles. That just is extremely unusual. I mean, meteorologically speaking, it was just such a fascinating thing to watch and to get to explore and be a part of. Unfortunately, it just caused too much damage we wouldn't want to see it too often.
As of July 6, 2012, around 250,000 people are still without power. Unfortunately, everyone is supposed to get power back relatively soon. In conclusion, let's remind everyone around the area to wear sunscreen and drink lots of water. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Lisa, for that story.
Every summer, hundreds of students come to American University in Washington, D.C. to take part in a variety of different programs. There's a lot of activity on campus, as students from around the world come to participate in conferences that specialize in different fields of study. Sophia has the story of 2 of these programs.
Hi, I'm Sophia, and today I'm here at the campus of American University, where 2 summer programs are taking place. Both of these summer programs are very similar, but have distinct final goals and approaches.
The National Student Leadership Conference and Discover the World of Communication allows students to experience college life for the first time at American University.
The main focus of Discover the World of Communication is for high school students to have an extraordinary experience and explore a field of communication.
It's hands-on experiential workshops at a college level that students really get to get a feel for before college starts, if that's something they want to go in and study.
NSLC is known for its structured schedules and enforced professional attire. DWC, with a more relaxed dress code, permits more free time each day. Students of both programs collaborate together in many classes, regardless of the different regulation and rules that apply to each.
The main difference is that the National Student Leadership Conference really decides to focus in on leadership and leadership within their community, as well as within the field of journalism and mass communication.
And students in the program take one of our DWC workshops and then go on to do their leadership experiences.
Regardless of the program chosen, both have been a success at allowing students to explore their passion for communications. Back to you.
Thank you, Sophia, for informing us about the differences between these two very exciting programs.
Student-teacher romantic relationships have been a problem for years at colleges and school districts worldwide. Many people believe that the line between being a professional teacher or coach and being a casual friend has been smudged. Both qualities are necessary for a strong leader, but what is the point of no return? How far is too far? Cole Greco, Christina Madera, and Noah Simmons have more with the story.
Former Penn State football coach Jerry Sandusky was recently convicted on 45 counts of child sex abuse. So, since we are on the campus of American University, we decided to talk to several AU professors and students about the university's current policy and their thoughts on student-teacher relationships.
I have never actually read the Student Code of Conduct for student-teacher relationships. I have no idea what it says.
Have you been educated on student-teacher relationships ever at any school that you were on?
Never formally. I think I've discussed it at some points, but never in a formal classroom situation.
We also asked an SIS professor how he had been taught the rules of student-teacher relationships.
More through talking to your peers rather than a program, because I think most people understand that that's not right.
We asked a local pastor what his feelings were towards the Jerry Sandusky case.
Yeah, I think it's terrible. I think it's awful. I believe that God created parents to take care of children, and so therefore if they abuse that by destroying them and their innocence, I think it's a terrible thing.
Just the other day I saw him on the news, and it's like looking at the face of evil.
As you can tell, professors were either formally or informally taught about the issue of student-teacher relationships, while students were not. I'm Noah Simmons, back to you in the studio.
Thank you for those very interesting findings.
For the past century, sports have been a major part of our society and are amazingly still growing. However, a new threat has arisen that is a real danger to all types of sports. For more, we go to Austin Sternlicht.
As sports continue to grow more and more popular, so do the concerns over concussions. Many result from dirty, illegal play, but others are just part of the game. Many notable athletes such as Sidney Crosby, Justin Morneau, and Austin Collie have missed significant playing time and seen their careers go down. They even considered retirement as an option, as an inability to escape the pain. Let's take a closer look now at how concussions are really affecting the game and how dangerous they really are.
Medical staff, he also hurt his hand on the play. Harrison, who delivered the blow, will likely receive a fine from the league as well.
Concussions are traumatic brain injuries that result from hard hits to the head. They can be very common in sports such as football and hockey, but surprisingly in other sports like cheerleading. We want to find out more information on how serious concussions really are.
The external symptoms, majority of the time are going to be something like scratches, bruising, things that you could visibly see from an injury.
Many high schools across the country now require more rigorous testing to detect concussions and help student athletes avoid worsening their statuses.
And some of the schools and at concussion clinics, they have more advanced testing, which is majority of what is being done at this point. Here, we're seeing students after the fact, so a lot of the testing is revolved around doing some baseline testing with athletes, and then after concussion, going back to that test and seeing how things go.
The concussions have become a major issue that is something that needs to be addressed with greater concern. Many people think concussions will ultimately ruin sports for good. We can only hope the necessary attention will be brought to this subject.
I don't think it's being blown out of proportion. I think just getting the awareness out there that these can be problematic and preventing them is really key.
For Red, White, and News, this has been Austin Sternlicht. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Austin, for shedding some light on that important issue facing the world of sports.
Locally, our reporters had the chance to meet up with Madhavi Reddy, a local Indian dancer, to shine light upon the dance Bharatanatyam that is just as unique as it sounds. Carl Soder has the details.
Bharatanatyam is an ancient spiritual dance that originated in India and has been performed for thousands of years all over the world. I have had the opportunity to speak with a local Indian dancer in order to understand more in depth the portrayal of this art form.
I am a film major here at American University, and I'm going to be a junior in the fall. My entire family on my mom's side, all my cousins are dancers, and that is how my parents got me into it, and we were lucky enough to find a really, really good teacher in Charlottesville, Virginia. So she taught me all about this ancient form of dance called Bharatanatyam, and she taught me the techniques, the technical side. Bharatanatyam is also a lot about storytelling, so through the stories that she taught me and that I learned in dance, I learned a lot about Hindu mythology too. It's always been a great way to keep me physically fit. I've done cross-country, dance, and taekwondo, and I can easily say that cross-country and taekwondo combined don't even match how much of a workout this dance form is.
Thanks, Carl. Looks like we found a new workout.
This has been Lainey Edwards
and Tad Desai. Thank you for watching Red, White, and News.